is great. Those folks at Climate Defiance out there constantly looking for opportunities to remind people that we're in a climate crisis. And particularly politicians are in the are theoretically best situated in which to deal with these things. And this is important. I mean, I know a lot of people who went to this book talk were upset that it got ruined. And but this is what apparently has to happen at this point. This is a book launch event in Washington, D.C. for Amy Klobuchar's book, The Joy of Politics, which...
Ask your staff about that.
Ask the staff about that, but it's also sort of like, really?
Yeah, look around,
like,
it's all the joy.
Yeah, like, I mean, maybe... Is that really what the book is about? Like that seems like that could be a chapter.
Where did the happy warrior stuff come from?
That was like Ronald Reagan.
Right, like it's just like... Yeah.
You know, like this...
Patched.
And you know, and look, I will say this, like... That, and I'm going to also concede, I did not read The Joy of Politics, but I feel like
you judged a book by its cover.
I judged the book by its cover. And I feel like, okay, you could put that in. That could be a chapter. But the idea that this is like fun for you, I think sort of like is not really rising to the moment.
We didn't play this, I don't think, but there was in the Florida legislature, they like concluded business and did a line dance, a bipartisan line dance in the aisles, and it's like, what? You're Florida.
Yeah, like honestly, I've never understood this. I've never understood this dynamic of like, but we can have fun too. And it's like, you know what? I mean,
no one's interested in that.
Yeah, like, and like, you know what? If you're gonna do a line dance at a, you know, like a whatever, a icebreaker behind the scenes,
yeah,
I'm okay with that. I understand you've got colleagues there. You want to build relationships. You know, maybe it's, you know, strategic. I mean, you shouldn't look at other human beings as tools. Although I think like in the State House, that's the one place that it's okay.
Yeah.
But you're sending out the wrong message to the public, particularly when you see the right saying this is an emergency. White people are losing their status. This is an emergency. You know, tree huggers are keeping us from burning more fossil fuel. There needs to be some semblance of urgency. That's why, like I say, you want to put one chapter in there. There could be joy to politics too. But I don't know if there's a more appropriate thing for a book talk on the joy of politics than to be reminded, hey, this has material consequences, really dire material consequences, really urgent, like emergency style consequences. Here is Amy Klobuchar being interviewed with Dana Bash, and then disrupted by some members of Climate Defiance.
I got to call the staff about Burma. That was like bad. Be a climate leader. Let it go our values. Be a climate leader. Let it go our boundaries. Be a climate leader. Let it go our values. Be a climate leader. Let it go our values. Be a climate leader. Let it go our values. Be a climate leader. Let it go our values. Be a climate leader.
They're holding signs saying end fossil fuel. End fossil fuels, and Amy, which side are you on? You can keep playing.
Be a climate leader. Let it go our values. Be a climate leader. Let it go our values. Be a climate leader.
Ending drilling on federal land is
There they go. They ruined the book talk. I mean, that's not that. I know that's not the point of it, although that probably saved a lot of people's brain power. But the point being that these type of things just remind people who too easily forget, including us here. Like, I mean, we could do every show on what's happening in terms of climate change.
Yeah. I'd also say, like, the type of person who would go to a Amy Klobuchar book talk is the type of person that I think could use
Needs
that
to
message.
hear that message.
There's one time that Amy Klobuchar did represent the joy of politics to me. I don't know if you can pull this up, Bradley. I'd just like to take a little brief trip down memory lane. You don't maximize it, but this is her talking with Pete Buttigieg in the primary.
A los soñadores hay que decir que este país es tu país también.
Gracias.
Everyone was as perfect.
Senator Klobuchar.
I wish everyone was as perfect as you, Pete.
A los soñadores hay que
There you go. That's the perfect Pete.
That's the joy of politics. Taking shots at Pete Buttigieg.
I mean, the particularly this time of year, like I talked to some farmers I know upstate. It's fascinating how they're like actively can see the change in planting schedules and what things people can grow.
It's wild that, like, climate change, there's such a resistance to the idea that the climate change, like, we used to teach the Dust Bowl era.
Right.
Like,
but the idea was like that there is climate change and there can be regional changes in climate, right. But there's also like what we're seeing is we know that it is man-made.
yeah.
Like, you're going to have climate changes. Those are challenging enough. We're having a man-made one that is only that is exacerbating things. And I don't know. Sometimes you hear people saying, like, we need to talk more about the positive, like the strategy of this. But I think it takes both. And there's stuff out there, like, I was listening to that Volts podcast. They were just like on an interview, like geothermal that could be scaled up, where instead of like wires into your house, you literally have water that has been heated by the earth.
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
51 degrees, and you're basically just sending essentially heat. You're sending
circulating it.
You're sending heat to the homes.
Yeah.
But so it's nice to see those technologies.
Also, cryptocurrency is very interesting.
Jesus.
Good thing we got,
Well,
people like
good
Bob
for
Menendez.
Climate Defiance. And, check them out on Twitter. They're at Climate Defiance on Twitter, and they're always looking for people who are willing to do stuff like that.